Storytime with Mrs. Caitlin.
Who Made the World by Caitlin Hummock and FLA pupils.
Chapter 1. Who Made Me? The world is full of wonderful things, big and small. Days are lit up by the sun, nights shimmer through moonlight and twinkling stars. Sometimes the sky is covered with clouds and it starts to rain. The earth is covered with majestic mountains, broad valleys, rolling seas, and whispering forests. How did all these things come to being? Who made them? Living in towns and cities, we are surrounded by many buildings. We need many smart people to construct these buildings. Architects and engineers and builders and painters and interior decorators, and buildings don't just appear. A lot of work and effort needs to be put into constructing even just one. In order to make one car, a whole factory full of people has to be put to work. First of all, of course, smart people have to design the car. Then others would have to make the parts, one by one. And finally, the car is put together. Nothing ever comes about by itself. Everything is always made by someone or something. Sometimes we do not know who has created the things around us, but that doesn't mean that they just appeared out of nowhere. Workmen lay out the pavement. A fox digs a den in the forest. Waves leave a pattern on a sandy beach. Sheep graze the grass on the pasture. You can fold the paper plane. The sun, the moon, clouds, and everything else around us have also been made by someone. Of course, they are very much more complicated to make than cars or houses. Who made the sun, the moon, clouds, and mountains? Many people throughout human history have said that since they were young, they have felt that there is someone great and really powerful who knows it all, can do it all, who is watching and guiding them. They have never seen him, but they just know in their hearts that he exists. But if they cannot see him, how can they be so sure that he actually exists? How do you know that wind exists? Do you see the wind? No one can see the wind, but we see how it moves the branches on trees and plays with the leaves on the ground. We can see how the wind blows the clouds towards us and away from us. We can see what the wind does, and through its deeds, we know it exists. Have you ever felt the existence of this someone who has made the sun, the moon, mountains, and clouds, and everything else that is so beautiful around us, and who knows exactly what you are doing or thinking at any given moment? I know I did when I was small. I had no idea who that was or what his name was, but I was absolutely convinced that when my parents told me not to do something, then I could not go and do this in secret either, under a table, for example, because he would still see me, and he does not appreciate when children do not listen to their parents. There are a lot of people in this world who know this someone exists. He is the one who made the moon and the stars, seas and valleys, wind and rain, all the plants and animals, even dinosaurs, and of course, human beings. He even created you. Yes, even you. It was him who decided that you would be created even before you were a tiny little cell growing in your mummy's belly. He made your bones, caused muscles to grow on them, and covered you with skin. Even every thread of hair on your head was made by him. But who is he? What should we call him? He is called different things in different languages. In English, it is God. In French, Dieu. In Russian, Bog. In Latin, Deus. In Greek, Theos. In Hebrew, Elohim. In Estonian, Jumal. In Arabic, Allah. God is this mysterious being who has created the whole world for us. It was not hard for him to do, as he knows everything and can do anything. He can just say, be, and the thing he's thinking about will be. He is the most powerful, the most knowledgeable, but also the most merciful and the most kind. Nothing is hard nor impossible for him. Thus, God has created everything that we need to survive in this world. For example, the rain. Why do we need the rain? We need it to be able to drink, cook food, and wash ourselves. Rain gives life to the earth, which then provides us with all sorts of vegetables growing from the soil and fruits hanging from the trees. God makes sure we have good things to eat. Besides providing us with food and drink, God has also created a lot of other things to benefit us. For example, the sheep that give us wool, which is turned into yarn, which is used to knit socks, gloves, scarves, and hats. Woolen cloth is needed to sew warm trousers, dresses, and coats. God also makes cotton and linen grow so we can have different types of cloth and clothes, depending on if the weather is warmer or colder. Thus, he takes care we would not have to walk around naked and catch a cold. God feeds and dresses us, which is extremely important to survive in this world. But he has also created a lot of beautiful things to please our eyes. For example, beautiful landscapes that take our breath away, or lovely colorful flowers in all shapes and sizes, which bring great joy to our eyes as well as our noses. Should we then not be grateful to God for all he has given us? Should we not be thankful and show our gratitude for all he has done? But what would be the best way to thank him? The best way to thank someone would be in a way that is the most appreciated by the person we want to thank. Thanking your mum, you would probably add, I love you, which would bring tears of joy to her eyes. Thanking your grandpa, you might give him a big, much appreciated hug. You know what your loved ones like, don't you? But what does God like? How could we thank him? He has let us know through his message that the best way to thank him would be to love him more than anything in this world and follow his commandments, that is, to be obedient to him.
Barakallahu feek for listening.